But let's start at the beginning. The Hierophant. This is when you're really incorporating your own spiritual magic into your world. So you may be meditating a little bit more for those of you that embrace church, Christianity, or another religion. This may be physically getting up and re-entering into your church or your synagogue or temple, whatever it is. But for the most part, when the Hierophant is here, that does mean you're incorporating your own magic and your own spirituality. And it doesn't necessarily mean religion for those of you who are walking in the atheist world. This just means incorporating your dreams, your hopes, your desires, and the knowledge that you have everything you need. So it does look like you're getting a little bit more certain in not only your skills, but who you are. It does feel like there might have been a large breakup in the past or a shift in relationship space. This can be coming together with someone new, releasing an old-time relationship, or just being happy with your singleness. But it does feel like there was a shift in your mind and a shift in your relationship space, however that looks for you, each individual Capricorn. So if you are in a committed relationship, marriage, partnership of some kind, it does feel like there was a shift. Can either be for the positive or the negative, but it does feel like initially it was negative and that you have worked through a lot of things. So many of you may have left your partner a number of months ago, or recommitted to your partner, or just recommitted to yourself as a single person. But it does look like incorporating some of your magic and kind of projecting it out into the world. So, as I said, there's a bunch of new readers. There's, I know my friend's daughter just graduated from her psychic school. So there's a bunch of new readers and new healers that are coming up. So you may be one of them. And it does feel like strength is here. So projecting those wonderful gifts out into the world where they are needed right now desperately is a wonderful thing. What crosses you is your High Priestess. This is also another very spiritual card and very validating on your own magic. It does feel like you took a step up in your havingness. It took a step up in your knowingness and your certainty about your own gifts. It feels like you're a little bit more certain. You're a little bit braver, although there's that fear card right at the bottom. You're not enough, which is just jive. It's just jive to hold you back. It is not the truth of the matter. It's just kind of what your mind might be going back to. But it is not the truth. The truth is that you are strong and you are certain and you are determined. Capricorn, you are one of the most determined signs that there is. And you're very loving and nurturing. So it does feel like you're a little stronger on your path. You may have taken a little fall backwards, or you may take a little fall backwards into the emotional stuff that you thought had been released over the last couple of months. That's just Mercury coming back into Pluto and going, hey, are you sure? Take a look at this, release whatever residue is there, and then you can move on into your greatness, because this stuff in the future all looks really positive. A lot of movement happening there. What is above you is the 2, finding your balance. And this is a really good 2. This is balance with money. This may be balance with material things. So if you did take your leave from a relationship, you or your partner may be looking for a new house. So that balance may be changing. That balance may be shifting, of either looking for a new place or making some changes in your current home with your partner. But it does look like you have found a little bit more balance. And, be aware that Mercury retrograde will kind of challenge that balance through the month. But it does look like you're being able to come back to center with each challenge. This boat is right here kind of lighting things up for me. So it does feel like you have the desire or the eagerness to go away either for the holidays or to go on a trip near water. This feels like water is a very healing element for you, even though you are earth. But it does feel like there's either a trip planned in the future that is around water, and that will help you find your emotional, physical, spiritual balance a little bit easier. Just the flow of the water looks like it really, really heals you. So that does look like it's coming up. It does look like it's in the creation process. It is not in the manifestation process yet. So it does look like an idea that has sparked. The energy in the past is the 9. This is the 9 of Swords, and this is usually when either you're having uninterrupted sleep, you may be having problem with your creature comforts, food, sleep, being secure. You might feel insecure a little bit about work. So money, food, sleep, all those creature comfort things. It does feel like you had a little bit of disruptive sleep. You may have a little stomach ache or some problems with your stomach. This is in the past position. This is not in the present. So this may be something that has just passed or is passing now. But it does look like you might have had a little bit of anxiety over the last week or so about how these changes are going to look or what your next step is. Just maybe a lot of question marks on what should I do next? How should I resolve this type of thing? It does look like you may be in a little fear right now because of this. What am I going to do? Everything's changed. Where's my next step stuff? So when we get into that, especially when we are sleep deprived, we're not eating right, we're in that worried space, the fear is easier to kick up. So this does look like maybe some fear has kicked up for you, especially if you have left a relationship that is no longer serving you. And to be alone in the world, again, is kind of frightening. So it does feel like whatever new step you have taken is kind of putting you in a little bit of fear. But all it is a fear concept. It is not a reality. So if you can, walk through that fear, because it does look like the future is pretty bright if you can ground yourself and become more certain in your own power. The Strength card is here, also kind of validating that. Go into your strength. You are one of the most strongest signs that I know. You're very, very diligent. This also can stand for a Leo. There may be a Leo involved, either helping you or reminding you of your strength. This can also stand for maybe a spiritual teacher that is a Leo or a fire sign. But it does feel like you are getting some help within your community or your family of choice, that you are very, very strong and you can accomplish what you set out to accomplish. So don't forget how strong you are, especially while you are just coming out of this kind of tumultuous questioning. If you are enough, you are enough, Capricorn. So the King of Wands is here. This can be a fire sign. Again, that's Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This does not necessarily have to be a male. It's usually someone over the age of 40. And the Kings, they show up to kind of remind us about being in integrity. This guy is all about status and wealth and influence and being fair-minded. So there may be some situations that are coming up or knocking on your door where you have to be fair to all involved. It also feels like it's kind of right on this, the money stuff. So you may be very fearful about money. And then this guy comes in and you may be getting some good news about money. This can be a raise. This can be a different job opportunity. This can be an additional job opportunity other than your 9 to 5. So it does feel like there's some good news coming. It may be coming through a fire sign, that's Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. But the Wands in general is about status. So you may be maybe getting accolades for your contributions that you never really realized made a difference in other people's lives. So pay attention. It does feel like you're going to be getting some good kudos and a possible job opportunity or another way of making money. It may be in addition to your current job. It may be instead of your current job, but it does feel like it has something to do with money and it's an opportunity. So pay attention. All right, what's next is the Six of Cups. This is usually messages from the past. It is upside down. So you may be yearning for something from the past. You might be the one reaching out to someone from the past. But it does feel like you may be shutting off some communications from maybe people that were toxic in your life. And this can be family members too. Family members know how to push our buttons. So it does look like that you are kind of gathering your strength and figuring things out. But it does... Sorry. Almost kicked you over there. Let me see. Yeah. All right. I saved you. Anyway, this card is all about messages. So it does feel like you may be reaching out to people from your past. You may be creating present time relationships with people from the past. Or you've gotten some information from the past that may not have been to your liking. It may not have been a positive interaction. The Ace of Cups is here. This is the soulmate card. This is kind of overwhelming love stuff. The aces are usually hands of God. These are kind of our karmic cards, things that are supposed to happen. So this can be a new love. This can be a birth of a child or an introduction of a soulmate. So pay attention, Capricorn. It feels like good things are on the rise for you. You have done a lot of your work in the past, over the past year and a half. So it does feel like it's time for you to get rewarded for all this hard work that you have been doing and so diligently. You've been really looking at some of the hard stuff that, you know, a lot of people take lifetimes to look at, but you've really looked at some things very honestly, and you've changed the things that no longer work for you within yourself and kind of come to the realization and the understanding that you cannot change anyone else, only yourself. So it does feel like some reward on the love space is coming your way. And if you are in a committed relationship already, this may mean just reconnecting with yourself, with your love. You know, love goes through weird stages. It has peaks, it has valleys, and this feels like this will be a peak, that you will reconnect with your loved one in a whole different level. And for those of you that are walking in the world without a partner and do not want a partner and are looking for one, this just may be making a deeper commitment to yourself as well. All right, what we have here is the 9. This is the 9 of Cups, and this 9 can stand for, this is the abundance card. This can be emotional abundance, this can be physical abundance, financial abundance. So this can also be the inheritance card. So there may be, someone might have written you in their will and you had no idea. But this is the abundance card. So in general, when I ask Spirit what that means for you, Capricorn, is you have raised your abundance tenfold in the last 12 months. You deserve it. You totally deserve to be in abundance and to be loved unconditionally, honestly, and with great passion. And it feels like the great passion and the honesty has been lacking a little bit in your prior relationships. So it does look like you are ready, willing, and open for this wonderful relationship because you've done the work on yourself. You really have done the work on yourself. So now it's time to collect on some of that abundance. So you are enough, and you will be collecting some kind of abundance. So this can be, as I said, a birth of a child. This can be a marriage. This can be friends that just, show up right when you need it. It is the having this card. It's the havingness card. So on the other side of this is kind of the celebration. This is the 4. This is the 4 of Wands. This requires action, though. This requires you coming out of the cave a little bit, Capricorn, and rejoicing. This can be anything from like a family reunion. This can be the holidays or reconnecting with friends, you know, going to a class with your girlfriends, going wine tasting with your buds. But this is coming out of the cave a little bit. See, coming out of that cave a little bit and rejoicing and finding your smile a little bit through the pleasures of other people's company is what this is really all about. So, and as you notice, this is all dark down here, and then we move into the lighter yellows and the exuberance and the abundance cards right here. So you are really moving out of this kind of dark space. I know that it kind of grabbed you a little bit, probably the end of last month, but it does look like you're coming out of that. You're picking up the phone and connecting with people when you need to, instead of just letting it stew and simmer and kind of fester in there. So it does look like you are grabbing your strength, picking up the phone, finding ways to release this energy. You're doing a really good job, Capricorn. The star is here. This is new beginnings. This can also be pouring out all of your energy to something. Don't forget to give to yourself. The star is taking things from the heavens and making them physical. So right next to this abundance card. So you may have another opportunity to make some money doing an art project or a passion or something that your heart is in. It's not a corporate thing. It's not a, you know, have to job. It feels like it's a pleasure for you to do this. So it can be anything from reading cards to doing art and selling it, making jewelry, making a botanical. But it does feel like it's a great idea that you've had and you want to bring it from the manifestation or to the idea stage and manifest it out into the physical world. So it does look like you're getting closer. You are connecting with the right people, maybe making a business plan, but this big star is just lighting up here. So it does feel like action is required, and it's really, you're connecting with the people that you need to. So don't lose the faith. Don't lose the faith, but come out of the cave and connect with people so Spirit can connect you with the right people outside of your little special environment. All right, I'm going to throw a couple of, or one of these cards. These are the Lovers card, and I think this is pretty appropriate since you've got the Soulmate card. They're a little difficult to shuffle, so we'll just, there's one that's kind of screaming at me. Let's see what this is. Transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. So whether that's with another person, in a sexual relationship or friend relationship, family relationship, it does look like your love and relationships have completely transformed and there is much more depth within them.